I first witnessed the power of music when I was 14 years old. Granddad had just suffered his second major stroke and was placed in long term care. He was no longer able to walk, no longer able to talk. Granny encouraged me to still connect with him and asked me to learn his favorite song. I came in one Friday and I sat down in front of him and I was trying to figure out, does Granddad even have favorite songs? He's always been so grumpy. But Granny assured me the one she told me to learn was going to do the trick. So I put my guitar on my lap and he began to sing. There'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover. And in that moment, something began to happen. The screaming lady, who screamed a lot, came down the hallway, but I noticed she was no longer screaming. She was singing, and Granny pulled up a chair for her. And then there was the wandering guy who would always wander, and he wandered on in too, and Granny pulled up another chair. And here we were, this motley crew of a grumpy old man, a broody teenager, a wandering guy, and a screaming lady. And we were connecting in a deep and meaningful way. Many things changed that day. The environment changed. The experience of visiting my granddad changed. And the feeling of connection changed for me. It also changed the trajectory of my career. And I was fortunate to be able to find a wonderful education program where I became a certified music therapist 30 years ago this year. When I think about music therapy and being a music therapist, I recognize the profound responsibility that can be a part of my day-to-day of being in tune with the latest research and understanding new clinical techniques and ways that are best going to reach the patients and clients that we serve. And that at the core of everything we do is establishing a relationship to walk with people through some of the most difficult challenges they will ever experience. And today we're going to talk about some of the most complex care that we participate in as music therapists. First of all, come along with me to the corrections room, and where I will be with some of the most violent criminals sitting in a circle. And my first question will be, tell me about the music of your 8-year-old self. And they will share. And as they share this information, I'm learning about them. I'm learning about their music, but I'm learning about them. And then as we all go back to our 8-year-old selves, and maybe you want to do that too, I then say, our 8-year-old self needed something. What was that? Let's write down today some of what our 8-year-old selves needed. Those words are then translated into a song. I put a melody. I will see crying. I will see silence, but I will also get a lot of spontaneous communication where I can get to know the people at a deep and meaningful way. Let's go to ICU. Completely different walking into a room, often to see someone who's intubated and unable to verbally communicate, who's looking up at you only using their eyes. And those eyes are looking scared. And it's about bringing in live music and going with their rhythm of their breath, helping them to calm amongst all the flurry of activity that's happening in ICU, changing the tempo in the moment for them, getting to know them in a different way. And then as they progress through their care, where they may transition to an acute environment and then a rehab environment and eventually discharged and being at home. And as the music therapist, we're able to follow them along, establishing anchor songs of familiarity where they can feel comforted, where they can write their own music and express what they have gone through, where they can connect with their spouses and their families in a new way, and where they can get support from the music they're listening to. And as a music therapist, we follow them each and every time. Well, what's really interesting is now we're here in a pandemic, and we're not able to reach all of our clients the way we once did, opening up new doors of communication and connection. And so we're using new resources. And today, at the end of this video, I'm going to show a short clip of what we're going to start incorporating next week. So you are getting a first-hand look at it. And this is our new robot that we have access to, who we call DB. If you don't remember anything else from today's brief presentation, please remember that music truly opens doors to communication and to conversation. And when we are feeling the most jammed up, when our amygdala is the most on fire and we want to flee or freeze or fight, or whether we're a grumpy grandfather or we're a rough and tough person who has committed a crime, or we are someone in ICU who is not able to speak, music has a way to open the door. And as a music therapist, my job is to sit beside you until we can. Introducing DB.